Hello, strong people. It is week 2, day 4 of Northeast Regional Battle at the Bridge Prep. Event day, as per usual for day 4. But today we're doing something we haven't done in a little while. Going down to 580 barbell. I wasn't sure if I was going to, but I think my body was telling me I needed a break from getting up. I don't know, I've been working a lot of overtime. And I know it's not physical labor, but it's mentally draining. And I had an eye twitch for the last 3 days. And I was like, am I stressed out? My body telling me to stop? And so I slept in today, which is the first Saturday I have slept in. Oh God, I don't know how long. I don't know. I have no idea. I've been getting up at, a little bit before 6 every morning, which isn't too bad, but it's not like it's 4 or 5 a.m. But I slept in today till 7:30. I feel good. Got my breakfast in me as per usual. I feel a little bit more bloated than usual. I kind of felt that the last few days, but we had a crumble cookie. Got that on Wednesday, and I've been nibbling at that for the last 3 days now. So that's a lot of extra sugar in my system that I'm just not used to having. Anyway, today we have bag toss, and we have a good day for it, luckily. So get some bag toss in. I don't know what the weights are or anything. Also, you can't see, but there's a fly on my windshield that's kind of hanging out there. He's along for the ride. Good for him. And then after SANDBAG, I believe it's squats, SSB squats. Maybe a 3-rep max, 5-rep max. I think last week was a 5-rep max. So probably 3 this week, I'm guessing. Hopefully it's better than last week. My squat last week was bad. Then yoke. I get to do a true yoke run. It'll be my first yoke run since I botched that one in Colorado. Looking back on it, what I think I messed up on that, and this might have prevented me from getting hurt or cramp, whatever, a severe cramp. I really don't know what it was because it went away after a few days, but because of the way the weights were positioned on the yoke rather than on 4 corners, it was on the side. So, right next to you. And what that usually means is the bottom will move back and forth independently from the top. Like if you've ever used a camber bar, they're unstable because the weight is hanging low and it's next to you. All weight on the bar is next to you, but because of the positioning, the extra arm that hangs down adds instability to it. Because the top part is lighter than the bottom, it shifts, it wiggles a little bit forward and back. And I think I tried to go, because in my head I was like, I'm going to blitz this event. And I went a little bit too fast off the line probably. And then I continued to try to go too fast after every repick. So, because it felt like it was going forward back a little bit. And that was a mistake on my part. Slow and steady probably would have won the race there. But at the same time, having that weight on your back for a long time is going to tear you down because it's 1,000 pounds. And you don't want that on your back for longer than you have to. But the counterpoint to that would be, I had to pick it 4 or 5 times or whatever. And picking the yoke at 1,000 pounds is also draining. So, it doesn't matter. I can't change it, but it was just the thought process I had. So if I ever have another yoke where it's, loaded like that, I might have a different approach to it. Because 1,000 pounds kind of does what it wants. You can't really manhandle that. Also, I hope my microphone's working because it sounded like it wasn't working last video. It sounded like it was in the first part, and then whenever I closed the video out, I wasn't so sure. So hopefully I don't have to re-record this part. And after yoke, SANDBAG to shoulder. I think a little bit heavier this week. I don't remember for sure what it says. I haven't looked at my program much because it doesn't matter. I just got to do whatever's written down. So we'll do exactly that. It's going to be nice to see the guys again get in another good training session. We had a lot of good ones leading up to Colorado's Olympic City, so won't be any different for this show. Now, obviously, this show is quite a bit lighter than the Pro-Am, so it's a little bit, I don't know how to feel about it now, because everything's going to be cardio, speed, what you need in strongman anyway. But it's going to be more important now because, you know, you could afford to be a little bit slower and not have as good cardio on those heavy events at the Olympic City because there was, you know, it's very static. But for this one, you need quick feet, you know, quick hands, quick transitions. All that stuff matters a lot more whenever the weights are lighter. So I'm anxious to see how we'll do with this show. And I'm not saying it's not a heavy show, because it's going to be a heavy show. Like a 300-pound log to a 300-pound axle for reps, back and forth. Now weights, those aren't heavy compared to what we've been using, but whenever you got to do it for a minute, you know, it adds up. And the transitions in between, you know, if you mess up one transition, that could be the difference between first and fourth place in that event. So the transitions are just as important as moving the weight. There's a max deadlift, obviously, that's going to be heavy. You know, it's a max. It should be heavy. We'll have a challenge there for sure. What else? Sandbag to shoulder. Not my best event, but I've done it quite a bit over the last few years. So I'm pretty confident with it. I just got to, you know, get back under some heavier sandbags. The 265, 275 is no problem. But it's also a smaller bag when you get up to that 300, 350 bag. Or 325. I don't think there's a 350 bag at this show. They're big. They're very wide. So the people who pick it vertically are going to have probably a bit of a advantage there, I would imagine. I don't know, though. I can't do it vertically. I'm not good at it. Maybe if I trained it for, you know, a full training cycle, I could get okay at it. But as for right now, I prefer the picking up like a hamburger, I guess. Hot dog? Hamburger. I don't know. Where it's parallel to me? Yeah, we'll go with that. The bag's out in front of me, I'm not standing over it. Something like that. You get the idea. And then sandbag toss, obviously a weaker event for me. But I like having an event like that in the show because it's kind of a breather almost. It's not strenuous. It's not too strenuous throwing a bag every now and then. But at the same time, it's also not a great event for me. So I think the last event's the yoke frame carry, and they are quite a bit lighter than what I've been training, of course. So it's going to be speed again. Yeah, I think it's 725 and 700 or something like that. 725 yoke and a 700 frame. Both weights I've done. I've done a 700 yoke all the time. But still, you got to be quick on it. I haven't been going that quick recently because it was a 1,000-pound yoke, and you can only go so quick with a 1,000-pound yoke unless you're an animal. But the frame, yeah, I'm pretty confident in that. I just got to get used to that frame again because it is kind of weird. It's a long frame, kind of not super wide, not super narrow, kind of somewhere in the middle. So I've used it enough times. I'm pretty confident on that one. But we'll see. Oh, my nose is really stuffy this morning. Do I have allergies? I think I might have allergies. Also, I need to buy some new contacts really bad. I thought I had I have two different prescriptions in my eyes. So the left one is I have, what's that called? Where your eye is like not round or something. Astigmatism, that's the word. I have a astigmatism in my left eye. So that one has a different prescription than my right eye. And I thought that I had one of my left eye contacts left and then more of my right. And I pulled my contact, the right one, out of the case this morning. It had a little tear on it. But I was like, that's no big deal. I put it in, and then, of course, it started hurting. I was like, all right, I shouldn't have done that. So I took it out, opened my my right contact case, little box they come in, and I was about to pull out the last one. So I have no more right eye contacts, which is really bad because once I cannot see without my contacts. I have glasses, but I don't think the prescription's been updated since 4th grade. My eyes have gotten worse since then. So I'm basically blind with my glasses on. I can't see much more. They help very little, is what I'm saying. I don't know if I should even drive with them. So if I need to order new contacts. If by chance I mess up and I break my right contact or it rips, whatever happens, I think I can use my left one in that eye, but it might feel weird, might throw my vision off a little bit. I don't know. I hope I don't have to find out. I hope they get here in time before I have to worry about any of that. So I know you guys are probably really wanting to know about my contact lens issues right now. That's what you're here for. I don't know. I kind of miss doing these driving vlogs. Makes me feel like Sam Sulek. Not really. He spits a lot of wisdom. Whether it's bro wisdom or whatever. A lot of the things he says makes a lot of sense. I like it because he kind of I don't want to say dumbs it down, but he kind of, some people want to overcomplicate this lifting thing. And of course there's science to it, obviously, and you can make it complicated if you want. But when you break it down to the bare bones, you got to eat, you got to sleep, and you got to train hard. That's it. If you do all of those things, and recover well, of course, that's kind of goes hand in hand with sleep. If you do all of those things appropriately, then you're good. You will grow. You will get stronger, whatever you want to do. Oh, I just realized that fly was gone off the windshield. Anyway, but so many people overcomplicate. They're like, can you do this back exercise on this day, or does this exercise work it better than this exercise? And there's no way. How do you measure that? How do you measure that at all? You just do it. If it feels good and you get a nice pump from it, or it makes you stronger, do it. It's not rocket science. Don't treat it like it. So to be I sit in some Facebook forums just because why not? And some are, people ask kind of, I don't want to say dumb questions, but they're overcomplicated questions for a beginner. I've been in the gym 3 months, and what's the best time to go to the gym? Or is this exercise better than this one? And there's no answer to that. It's whatever works for you. The time you go to the gym doesn't make that much of a difference. If you can only go at 5 in the morning, go at 5 in the morning. If you can only go at 10 at night, go at 10 at night. It doesn't matter as long as you go. And there's certain exercises that might be better than others, but that's a personal preference most of the time. Like a preacher curl, it might work great for some people, and then other people might prefer cable curls. It's whatever works for you. There's no reason to overcomplicate things. And then, of course, if you get to the top level, and you start mixing in some supplements and stuff, science does come into play there, of course. I mean, you have these gurus that dial in all the hormones and stuff for people, and from there, yeah, that's where science kicks in. But they still got to do all the basic eating, sleeping, lifting stuff. I think strength training, I think there's a little bit more of a science to it in a way, because of you have to try to get stronger each week in a sense. If you've got to follow a program. If you're not following a program and you're strength training, I personally think you're doing it wrong. And I say that because I did it for 3 or 4 years. I had a general idea of what felt right or what worked, but I was not following programs. I'd occasionally follow an 8-week bench program or an 8-week deadlift program or whatever. And that was better than nothing, but I definitely didn't do, what I should have, what I could have. I don't know. It's probably the end of my little mini rant there. Well, I've been recording and talking for like 15 minutes, and there's probably no way you guys are still listening, so I'm going to end the video here, at least this portion of it, and I'll try to record something in the gym. I don't know, I'm really bad at recording when I go down here. We'll see what happens. And yeah, I mean, you'll see whatever it is right now. All right, that's the end to a successful workout. Happy with how it went. Didn't quite do what the program said, at least in one way. Bag tosses, they felt really good. I'm pleasantly surprised, but I'm getting better. I feel like it's starting to click. I'm not. There's a. I'm a little bit torn because I don't know if I'm overthinking the bag toss or just thinking too much. Some movements, I know I mentioned before, some movements, just do them. Don't think about it, just do what feels right. And maybe bag toss is one of those things for me. Maybe I just need to do it and not think about it. Because that's kind of what I was doing today. I was like, let's just throw some bags, warm-ups, and they felt good. I was like, let's just go with what feels right. And I felt like I was using my hips a little bit better. I feel like I was exploding, pulling with my arms all at the same time. And I wasn't thinking about doing that. I was just doing it, just naturally. So, I don't know. I was happy with how bags went. Happy with how squats went, too. It could be maybe I was using a bit higher box, but we went up to 515, I think it is. Whatever 5 plates is on the Elite FCS safety squat bar. I think the bar is 65, so 495 plus 20, 515 for 3 rep max. I was happy with that. Did 680 on the yoke, I think, for my 8-second max. For this event, if I remember right, Josh, the promoter and owner of 580 Barbell, promoter of the show, he for his yoke events, he usually has us run into them. So we'll start like 5 feet behind the yoke, and then so you're 5 feet back, timer ready, judge ready, whatever, competitor ready, set, go, and you run into the yoke, get set, then pick and run. So that's kind of how I was running it today, because it is hard. If you're set under the yoke before that go, then you can get it set in perfect. And depending on how heavy the weight is, of course, you can do that too, or you might have to do that for an event like this where you have to run in. Lucky for me, it's 700, 725, whatever. And I don't need to have it perfect to be able to have the best run. As long as I get it on my, upper back, neck, shoulder, somewhere in there, I should be fine. That's a weight I can manhandle a little bit. Of course, I say that, and I botched it 2 years ago when they had an event like this. It was a 50-foot straight shot with the yoke, and I picked it up, and I stepped back. Lost it had to be 3-4 seconds at least. I was so mad. And I didn't do that once in prep. I didn't step back once, so I got to not make that error again. So I stopped at 680 for my run. It felt fast. It felt very fast. I was extremely happy with how it felt. It felt smooth. Then did back downs, 2 sets of the back downs. Had what did I do? I guess I just took 90 pounds off, so 570, I guess, for 100-foot runs. They felt fine. They felt fast. And what did I do after that? Oh, bag. This is where I kind of went off program. I was scheduled for a 275-pound bag for three reps every minute on the minute for 8 minutes. And that sounded awful. And my buddy, who's also training for the show, he had to do some a comp weight runs, I believe, but without the top bag. So the first 4 bags, I think. And I opted to do that. So I don't know. I think he just sent me the video because he recorded it on his phone. It felt fast. I don't know how fast it actually was, but it felt pretty fast. And that was my first time touching a 300 bag in since Nationals 2022. So it's been a while. Did a run at that. Felt really good. Didn't feel difficult at all. Didn't really feel out of breath or anything. So cardio felt good. I know I can do a 325 bag after that 300. So the real hard part is going to be repping it out, because now I'm confident that I can do some reps. We'll see, though. Then after that, this is kind of where I went really off the wall and I did a 350 bag to shoulder, which I've never done before. I tried it two years ago, I think. It's been a while now. I don't remember when exactly it was, but I gave it a go, and it just wasn't there. Back then, it was awful just to lap it, but today I lapped it pretty easily. And I didn't really have much trouble getting it to the shoulder either. Had to do a couple, jumps to kind of hop into position, but that's pretty typical for a really big bag. I said it after I did it. I was like, I could probably do 400 today, but I wasn't going to go that far off. So I think the difference with me this year going sandbag and last year, I'm not as timid going in. I'm attacking it like I would any other event. So I don't know what it is, but whenever I'm leaned over like that, like stones or sandbag, I'm not in that attack mode, I guess is what you want to say. I'm just kind of going through the motion, not really being super aggressive with it. I don't know if that's because I'm scared of tearing a bicep or whatever, just because of a really wide sandbag or a stone. Those can hurt your biceps, but so can an axle clean. It is what it is. I need to not have that little bit of fear, and I think that's what's going to be the game changer when it comes to sandbags this year. Hopefully, these are all just hoping. That, and I'm using a hard belt, which I have not done before for sandbag, and it is working great. I'm loving it right now. So I'm definitely going to keep doing that moving forward. I don't know. That was about it. Yeah, I don't know. That was a really good training session. That was a big boost to my confidence with throwing and the sandbag to shoulder, because I don't know. They both felt really good. Sandbag to shoulder felt way better than I thought. Looking at the looking into that event before, I was like, oh no, hope to just hang on that event. And now I'm like, what do you mean just hang? I'm pretty happy with that. I'm excited to see what I can do in that event now. A little bit over a month left of training, I think. Yeah, I mean, technically we're like, what, 5 weeks away? 5, 6 weeks? So another 4 or 5 weeks of actual training and then a deload week. So I don't know. I'm happy with how things are going. I hope they stay that way. So until next time, go out, get strong, stay strong, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.